right, dude. So, like I said, books, TV, comics, games. What's your all-time favorite character?
Favorite character? That's a tough one. One character that I fell in love with recently, if you've played the Yakuza games, they're out on PlayStation, many consoles. Kazuma Kiryu, he is the lead character. The man he solves everything with a punch to the face and is the ultimate badass. And I think that he's the type of character, it's like, look, in real life, that would not happen, right? But isn't it awesome that you can play as somebody that he's just like, hey, I see evil deeds being done. I know the problem. It is my left and it is my right. And the way that it happens, it's just hilarious.
All right, so back to who inspires you? Who would you tell?
Man, I think a lot of people inspire me. From my mother, she was somebody that was always with me during rough periods of my life. Many of my bosses have actually had a pivotal role in my life, because I think that far too much in our lives, we are afraid to take chances. And almost all of my previous bosses have always told me, like, Juan, you have the potential. You know what the limit is? You. So just do it. And if you make mistakes along the way, nobody can tell you that you at least didn't try. So I think that it's those people that didn't need to give me these opportunities, but they did. Those were the people that inspire me.
That's great, man. So this is probably the most divisive question. Here we go. It's Christmas time. Everybody's cooking pasteles. Team ketchup, team no ketchup.
Oh man, see, like you want people to hate each other now, is the whole thing. But for me, honestly, I don't mind ketchup. But the thing is, okay, here's what people talk about. They talk about the ketchup without talking about el pastel. Like, are you trying to accentuate the flavor, or are you hiding the fact that it's a bad pastel? See, that's the thing. Like for me, the ketchup, it's like the safe zone where it's like, I don't know if it's bad or good. I haven't taken a bite, so the ketchup, it's kind of hiding whether it's bad or good.
Good point of view. Haven't thought about that one yet. All right. So, would you rather chill in the house, relax, or are you more the type of guy that likes to go on and about?
Oh man, for me, without question, it's my house. That's why where I record videos, where I just hang out with my wife and watch movies, we make it the best pace possible. The best example as to why, we have Caribbean cinemas in Puerto Rico, right? One time, there were these kids jumping over the seats, and one of them literally just kicked me in the face. It's like a wrestling, I got super kicked in the face. And it was that moment that I realized, you know what? I'm gonna buy me a really sexy television. We're gonna watch movies at home. I can eat whatever I want. I'm done with that.
All right, so what's the best thing about social media in your opinion?
For me, the best thing about social media is making friends. As a matter of fact, I met my wife through Twitter when not even 100 people use Twitter on Puerto Rico. I was looking up this morning, as a matter of fact, I've been on Twitter for 11 years, which is insane. And I think the best part is that there are so many people near you on social media that you kind of forget, like, oh wow, I forgot that about you, or I didn't know that you like X or Y thing. But social media can create connections because of that.
So what would you say is the worst?
Oh, by far the worst is that people love to be outspoken without any repercussion. I think that we live in a time where people are easily offended, and I think it's important to respect one another. But when we have differences, people just go blast all out. Really. You know, people like to make fun of people. People like to mock people on social media, and I think that, you know, I can have an enemy online that if we met in person, we could probably get along. And I think we take things far too often out of context. So I think it's this whole thing of like, either you're with me and I love you, or you're against me and you're my enemy. And that to me is just no way to live.
That's true. So what's something people would be surprised to know about you?
Man, I got two different stories, I guess. One of them is like, you want to know how I got this scar? So I actually have this scar here, and some people ask me how I got it. I can make up this insane story about how I got into a fight. I was 10 years old. My mom and I, it was a Monday night, we get home, and then our door had like a sticky thing pointing out. I get stabbed in here, but I'm like, if I tell my mom, we gotta go to the hospital and I'm gonna miss WWF Monday Night Raw. So I proceeded to bandage myself with a towel. I threw the shirt away. I was drenched in blood. I should have probably died. My mom didn't find out like up until like 2 weeks after. You could see part of my bone. It was horrible. I mean, even to this day, I was like 10 or 11. I'm 30 now, and you can still see the mark. And the other thing is that one time I was chased by a three-legged dog, and My biggest fear when I was jogging around while listening to earbuds was being chased by a dog. I look behind me, there's a three-legged dog. So my reaction was, I'm being chased by a three-legged dog. Should I be proud of that or ashamed? I still don't know, so you tell me.
It's up in the air, I guess.
Yeah.
Find out. What's your favorite word?
My favorite word is probably do. I think so many people say try, so many people say contemplate, or the famous word, I think I'm gonna try, right? As opposed to just do the thing. Just do something. You're thinking about it, do it. So it's like those two. So I guess Shia LaBeouf was always right all along. It's just like, just do it. But though that to me is the thing that defines me, because stop being so fearful and just give things a shot.
All right, so what's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is probably not having a purpose. I think that for everything that I've been able to accomplish personally and professionally, I'm not this person that can look back and be like, wow, did you see this thing that I accomplished? I don't like to take a lot of credit for things I do. And that leads to the fear of like, what if I don't know the next step? Or like, what if I don't, like I achieved this, but I don't know the next thing? And not having something next to work towards to is always one of my personal and professional fears.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty universal.
Yeah.
What's your most prized possession?
My most prized possession is probably my home now with my wife. We just bought a home in December, and as somebody that lived growing up with depression, anxiety, social phobia, and all this, I didn't think I would ever own a car. And I'm about to pay off my car in June of this year. In December, we bought a home, and the fact that we get to walk into a place and I'm like, we have a 30-year debt. That is awesome. But then on the flip side, you're like, I own a freaking house. I didn't think I was gonna do anything in my life, and when I go to my home office, I'm like, this is my home office. I make that what I want to make of it, and that to me is definitely my most prized possession.
That's true, man. I say congratulations on that, so I know how that
Thank
feels.
you, thank you.
What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Ooh, I got a couple. See, like ice cream and me, we have a sexy relationship because it depends on if it's ice cream by itself or if it's ice cream on top of a warm piece of chocolate cake. If it's on top of a warm piece of chocolate cake, let's just go basic with vanilla. If it's by itself, I'm gonna say sea salted caramel. I like the combination of salty and sweet. It's really, really good.
All right, so what's something somebody can do that will immediately piss you off?
Oh, that's easy. I think you could punch me in the face and I would not be offended, or I would get as upset as if you raise your voice at me. Like, I don't like loud sounds. It's why I prefer to be at home as opposed to like a mall or something. So when everybody's like, Juan, like in a place, like a very loud place, I'm like, scale it down a little bit. It's really annoying for me. So just please, you can text me, just don't yell at me. That really does upset me.
Gotcha. So if you could see the Juan from 5 years ago, what would you tell him?
Juan from 5 years ago, I would probably tell him, stop being afraid. I think that I've been able to accomplish a lot in the last 5 years. I got my first real job at 23 years old, and it wasn't up until I was always afraid of like being fired, of not doing well. And the moment that I just started taking risks, and I'm like, man, there's a reason that people give you these opportunities. So stop being so damn afraid of that and just be able to do that. I think if I was able to emotionally slap myself in the face 5 years ago and just told me, hey, just try things. Stop being so damn afraid of not doing the best thing. Because guess what? You can do things perfectly and you're still going to find something that could be better. You're still going to find things that you can improve upon. So if I would have told myself, I think that would have led to even better things.
All right, so for 5 years in the future, what's something that you would like to have changed about yourself, and what's something you would like to have stayed the same?
Something that I would like to stay the same is probably being humble. Whether you meet me on the street or on a video, whether I'm being interviewed or something, I like to think I'm pretty much the same person. I think too many people are personalities, right? They try to be what the camera lens wants them to be, like I am who I am. And I think that being humble and hungry, I think The Rock said that one time, to me is really important. Something that I like to change is to be able to take even more risks, because I feel like for every risk that I do take, every new challenge that I do try to just delve into, there are 5 other opportunities that I'm like, Well, no, maybe next time, maybe next time. So I think that just learning more things, doing more, because it's easy for us to fall into a comfort zone, and I definitely don't want to be able to be victim of that.
All right, well, this was a great 20 on 15. I hope you had fun. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, thank you for the questions. They were
Oh,
awesome.
no problem. Hopefully, we can get this going again, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Count on that. Hey everybody, hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for 15th and Richport for the interview. If you want to follow them, they are available on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. If you want to check out where I'm at, you can find me at youtube.com/PlayerJuan for gaming videos. I also do a mental health podcast called Happy to Fail. You can search that on Spotify, different apps, including on Facebook. Also, if you like some of that retro video games and movies, I'm involved in a podcast called A Cast of the Past with a brand new episode each and every Sunday. You can find it at youtube.com/acastofthepast or searching that on your favorite podcast app and clicking on the sword and stone logo. So once again, thank you for watching, and I'm sorry that you didn't get to see the pig.